large, I think law professionals of all kinds, from law enforcement officers to prosecutors to judges.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs, and you are listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. It's a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm live from Las Vegas, and today I'm talking about a dog's purpose and a new charity in Las Vegas. So stay right there.
Let's bring on the host, Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's another live show from Las Vegas, and I am your host, Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs. And as we do every week, we're delivering another fantastic show to you. Now, before I get started, I have to do a shout out. I got a really fun text last week from a friend of mine, Andy, and she said she was over at her daughter's boyfriend's house. He just got a new boxer, and she said, "Oh, I need to introduce you to my friend Sam. She's the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs." He's like, "What? You know her?" So this is a big shout out to Zach Teets. Let's not start with the whole, you remember the whole pronunciation issue I had last week? Remember when I was talking about anal sacs, not anal sex? I just thought, oh, I'm going to have another issue. But anyway, so hello, Zach Teets. One day we will meet and we will talk dogs, boxers in particular, because I know you just got yourself a new boxer puppy. So congratulations and thank you for listening to the show. So, and for anyone that's asking, it's Tietz, teats, by the way. Just have to put that out there, because you know how it goes sometimes on radio and this accent. So if you are new to the show, this is how you can connect with us. It's very, very easy on the internet. And our main website is vegasrockdogradio.com. That's where you can listen to the show directly through the website, and you can find out who's coming on the show, archive shows, pet tip of the day, tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Another place you'll find us is Periscope, Facebook, of course, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram. So I think most people will be on at least one of those platforms. And we also have a blog. The blog is called therockandrolldog.com. Our clothing, rock and roll clothing website is down at the moment for maintenance. So just want to let you know that. But that's rock and roll clothing for you and your pets, and that's vegasrockdog.com. Now, if you don't always get the chance to listen to the show live, well, we make it really easy for you, because you can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Podomatic. I mean, there's something like 20 platforms, but the most popular are iTunes and iHeartRadio. You can listen at your own leisure. And let me tell you, Jim, we get so many downloads. As soon as that archive goes up, it's unbelievable how many downloads that we get. So
very
that's
popular.
We're in our 4th year, so we've always had great listenership. But this last, I would say 4 months, something is happening, and it's growing and even more, and I'm really excited about that. That means we get to impart great information and introduce great people to our audience who are doing wonderful things with animals all around the world. We do have an app, believe it or not. We have an app. We're kind of fancy. And you'll go to yapp.us, yapp.us, and just search Vegas Rock Dog Radio and download that to your phone, and you'll get all our current information and all the episodes. You can listen through that also. So we make it easy. We make it very, very easy, even though it's a lot to maintain. But it's worth it, because, we're reaching our audience in every way possible. I do have a tip of the week. I hadn't done a tip of the week in a while. But my tip of the week, I don't know if you heard, that was one of my co-hosts. It's kind of like, when your dogs go to sleep and you're because they're all relaxed. Which one was that? Who was that?
It was Thornton.
It was Thornton. Oh, my gosh. So if you are new to the show, I really have 4 co-hosts. Jim, my husband, and I also have 3 furry co-hosts. I have Miss Galaxy, Miss Thornton, and Mr. Twix. And people ask me, what? They're in the studio with you? Don't they bark? Actually, they don't, and it wouldn't matter anyway, because, hey, we're a show about pets. But saying that, they know what's going on Saturday mornings. They know we go live, and I just say, come on, it's showtime, and they run into the studio, and they get on the beds.
And sleep.
And right now, Thornton, Jim brought in, it's very strange, brought in some gross...
It's normally Mr. Twix's nighttime bed.
On dirty laundry.
A pile of laundry.
A pile of laundry. And for some reason, Thornton thinks that's the best thing since sliced bread, despite us having 10 beds in the house. 10 nice dog beds in the house, so... I love it, though. I love that they get to be with me while we do the show. It's wonderful. Well, I just want to go over a quick topic because I'm going to expand upon this in another show. A topic that's been a hot topic this week on social media, and that's the movie that's coming out called The Dog's Purpose. So footage from the movie, surfaced, and it was of one of the dogs. Well, the dog. They used a few dogs, I guess, from the movie, but this particular dog basically being shoved into simulated rapids, yeah, and clearly, can't even speak. Clearly, very, very scared, terrified, scrambling to get out. My reaction was instant. I was just instantly horrified. You were the same, weren't you, Jim? And thousands of other people instantly horrified. My first thing was, hang on a minute here. The American Humane Association is supposed to be on set, so why did this happen? And not just animal lovers are horrified by this, but animal professionals. And I do have a friend who's a body language expert, has been for 30 years. And I have friends who train animals in the movies who are just outraged by this. The footage came out just a week before its debut. I'm assuming the timings to really cause an impact. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know for a fact, because they've had this footage for well over a year. And so I just think this is about maximizing the impact of the movie. And there are, crazily enough, differing opinions on this and statements. The statements are different from the studio, the author, the director, the producer. And I have yet to hear anything from the trainers from the movie who took their website down that day. So I've heard nothing from them. I did reach out to the producer. He said he was mortified. He's an animal activist. He's spoken out himself about animals being used in movies and how they're not treated properly. And it needs to be more stringent and more standards and more oversight. So he was mortified. And when I did ask him, I said, what's going on, And he said, I said, why did no one speak up? Why did no one speak right then at that moment? And he said, well, I guess that this is not exactly what he said, but he says, I guess that they thought, well, there's this professional on site. If it's okay with them, it must be okay. And there is a hierarchy when you're on movies. And there are lots of people on movies. So I find it really difficult that no one stood. I don't care what my job was. Seriously, I just stand up for animals. If you're an animal lover, you know right from wrong. You'll stand up for them. It won't matter. You won't question yourself. Should I say something? That's not how it works. Not in my world anyway, and many others. So of course I won't be supporting the movie. I'm questioning, why did they not use this little thing called CGI? Computer generated images. The technology is phenomenal. Is it necessary to throw a dog into the water? It was just really disturbing to see that, considering there's supposed to be someone on set. I suggest if you were going to go, no longer want to go, then donate the price of the ticket to your local shelter and do some good with it. That's a really good thing. But I'm going to bring on two of my friends, a studio trainer and the body language expert, and let's get their perspective as well. So I ran over to everybody's, what the studio was saying, what the author was saying, and I went over to Bruce Cameron's page, who wrote the book. And it's a book about animals. It's a book about dogs, the love of dogs. So, we really do need to stand up when it's about dogs. So this is what he wrote. He wrote 3 posts. And so this was the first one. He said, I was disturbed as you were by the video I saw earlier today. Though obviously edited and hysterically headlined. I don't think it was hysterical at all. The images speak for themselves. I have asked the studio for an explanation and have been assured that they are reviewing every single frame of footage shot that day and interviewing the people who were there. He said he was not there. I want all the facts at my disposal before I pronounce judgment or issue an opinion. I will give you an update as soon as I have one. Here's the update number 2. First, I want to thank everyone, and there have been literally thousands of you who have written to express support. Your words and thoughts mean the world to us. I found the video we've all seen to be shocking because when I was on set, the ethic of everyone was the safety and comfort of the dogs. If the people who shot and edited the video thought something was wrong, why did they wait 15 months to do anything about it instead of immediately going to authorities? I have since viewed footage taken of the day in question when I wasn't there, and it paints an entirely different picture. The written commentary accompanying the edited video mischaracterized what happened. I'm not blind. I don't need that. It's okay. I'm not blind. So I know what I saw. And this is what I'm saying. I know what I looked at on that video. But he said it was mischaracterized. The dog was not terrified and not thrown in the water. I've seen footage of Hercules earlier that day joyfully jumping in the pool. When he was asked to perform the stunt from the other side of the pool, which was not how he had been doing it all day. He balked at doing it. The mistake was trying to dip the dog in the water to show him it was okay. The water wasn't his issue. It was the location that was the issue. And and the dog happily did the stunt when he was allowed to return to his original spot. I also didn't like it when Hercules had briefly went under the water, but there was a scuba diver and a trainer in the pool to protect him. He loves the water, wasn't in danger, wasn't upset. On a movie, when the mantra was safety and comfort of the dogs, mistakes were made. Everything needs to be done to make sure that errors are not repeated. But the reason American Humane certifies that no animals were harmed during the making of the film is that no animals were harmed during the making of the film. I celebrate animal rescue, and I'm proud of the values that show up in Dog's Purpose. Update number 3. So, of course, I have a lot of issues with that. Because we're not talking about what happened before. We're not talking about what happened after. It's what happened in that moment. That dog doesn't know there's a scuba diver there and he's going to be okay. He didn't know that. The dog was not dipped. It was not dipped. It was pushed right back in that water. So I have issues. So we've gone from being disturbed to it's okay. It's been mischaracterized. So I wonder who they all had conversations with. the last update before I bring on a very, very positive guest in a second. He said, I politely and respectfully answering comments, but my wrists are sort of giving out. A lot of your comments are the same, so I will try to respond here. First, thank you for the lack of profanity and flamers. They add nothing to the discourse. Second, screenwriters make no more money if the movie is a box office hit or if it is a flop. I am proud of the messages in the movie and the book and support both. I have asked that the original footage be released, and I'm hearing that this is unlikely because it would have been edited for length, and once it's edited well, then it is no better than the TMZ video, is it? I still think they should release it, but it isn't my call. I think reasonable people can disagree about whether the dog was terrified or was experiencing some other emotion. In my view, this is the dog has been fine swimming in the pool the whole time. It had more to do with being unhappy with being asked to jump from the wrong side. And that's the point, isn't it? The dog was unhappy. We can all agree on that. I believe it was a mistake to try to continue to persuade Hercules to get in from that side once it was clear he didn't want to. Once he could jump in from the correct side, he was happy. I am trying to say that people make mistakes even when they are supposed to be committed to a firm established principle of behavior. If you cannot forgive this mistake, I accept your decision. I have made mistakes myself, and I hope that when no permanent harm is the result, I may be forgiven. Here's the thing. This is not just physical harm. This is psychological harm. If that happened to a kid, they'd probably not want to swim ever again. Think about that. If a parent or an adult shoved them in there and made them stay in there and their head went underneath, and they didn't know that a scuba diver could help them. So I personally do not accept mistakes. That's why people are on set, to make sure that this doesn't happen. And a good trainer would not force a dog, even if he'd done it a million times before, whether it was on the same side or the other side. You would have to break, you would have to retrain in that way. It's not what a good trainer does. And a body language expert, let me tell you, will tell you, oh my gosh, it is unbelievable what you will learn from a body language expert. It will open your eyes, but let me tell you something. You don't need to be an expert to see what you saw and understand that dog was absolutely frightened. Because I think when you have that instant reaction, oh my gosh, that's horrific. You don't even think about, is it, you see something that does not look right, and it was not right. And also, I would like to know who Mr. Cameron sat down with to come up with this explanation. Did he sit down with a professional? Now, a friend of mine, Jill Breitner of Dog Decoder, she offered her services, and at this point, he has not taken her up on it. And I highly recommended that he did, because she needs to give the opinion, or another professional, not the layman. So just to back it up. So we're going to follow up with this. We're going to bring the professionals on the show, and then it now leads us down the path of how do we improve the safety of animals in movies. You will be shocked to know, in current day movies, animals die. The animals die on movie sets, and it was definitely the stuff that happened in Hollywood decades ago. It's still happening. So it's not void of that. It definitely needs to open up a big discussion, and there needs to be very stringent rules put in place. And also, here's the thing: if they felt that it was okay, they actually suspended the representative that was there from the American Humane Association. If they could stand by what happened, then why did they fire that person? That tells me another thing, too. So there's a lot needs to happen. These trainers are under a union. And so we're going to bring the professionals on, and we need to put pressure on the industry to do the right thing. And wherever you don't have to use an animal and you can use technology, 100% support of that. So that's the update. It's got people very, very upset this week. So not good. I don't want to see that. I don't want to think it even exists anymore, but it does. And we need to tackle that one in a very proactive way. I think you'll find it very interesting when we bring Jill on. I haven't asked her yet. She doesn't know she's coming on. Jim, shall we actually just take a quick break? Let's take a quick commercial break before we bring on our fantastic guest. She's been patiently waiting online, and you're going to really enjoy this interview. So let's take a quick break. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
At Carl's Jr., not only do we make you happy with our delicious charbroiled burgers, but we also make your dogs happy. When you come through our drive-thru with your furry friend, we'll offer your dog a treat. If not, always ask for one. We love to see their smiling faces. Our website, callsjunioroflasvegas.com, has a treat for its customers too, with free coupons anytime, so be sure to visit us regularly. Carl's Jr. is a proud and active supporter of dog adoption in our community. You can find us at Carl's Jr. of Las Vegas or on Twitter at Carl's Jr. of Vegas.
Pet Scene Magazine is dedicated to Las Vegas pets and the people who love them. It's a source of news and information for pet lovers, as well as offering valuable coupons and specials on pet products and services. Find them online at www.lvpetscene.com or look for them on Facebook.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. I have a great guest coming on. She's a friend of mine, and I love it when a new charity opens up by people I know that you know is going to be fantastic and make a big, big impact. And so I'm bringing on the show today Melissa Sosin-Novelli. Please tell me that's correct, Melissa. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yay! I always try and get the name. I like to get the names right because no one gets my name right. So I really like to focus on getting other people's names right. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Sam and Jim, for having us on the show.
Oh,
Awesome.
I was so happy when I was like, yes, Pawtastic Friends became a 501c3. We really needed this in town because not enough can be done for animals, in my opinion. So we're in great company with you and Michael, and I'm really, really glad that you were available to do the interview this morning. So you're newly formed 501c3. What date did you get your certificate or your, what do they call your status or whatever they call it?
Yeah, actually, we were just approved last week for that. So Michael and I are so excited.
Yeah.
It really, really was something that we had been thinking about for quite some time. And to really get it accomplished, I mean, we're excited because the sky's the limit now.
It really is. I think once you become a 501c3, and you're like Jim and I used to be, and like Pam and Eddie, our other friends used to be from Rocking for Rescues, we were all private citizens raising lots of money for animals. There are a few little hurdles with that. You know, I would reach out to certain companies and they'd say, you're a 501c3. I'm like, no, we're not, you know, but we fully disclose everything, which you don't have to do as a private citizen, but we always did. And we always donated most of it back, apart from a few expenses and stuff. So it does open up, you know, it knocks a few little hurdles down where people will be open to donations and sponsorship and that kind of thing. And I'm just absolutely thrilled. Did you celebrate once you got the news?
Oh, yes, we celebrated. And it's just so exciting because, like you said, once you have the 501c3, it opens up opportunities. And then when people do make donations, they know that those donations are going to be going to the proper uses.
That's
to help
right.
the animals.
Yeah, they're going to be applied the right way. It gives people a level of confidence, and that's, I think, the biggest thing. Not that we're saying all 501c3s are great, because we all know, we've all heard the horror stories, but because I know you personally, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, yes, amazing, decent people that make a difference, where their passion is at the front of everything that they do, and you always kind of put yourselves behind a little bit. You're always kind of in the background, but I was so glad when you got your award. Do you want to tell everybody about your award that your Michael got?
Oh, yeah, that was such a pleasant surprise. One of my clients at the salon nominated Michael and I for the Fox 5 Shining Star Award. So we had no idea. And then Christine Medella called and said, you were nominated and we chose you. So we had the opportunity to go to the car dealership, and they presented us with a check and a trophy and a certificate. And I mean, it was just amazing.
Well, I think it's lovely because, you know, like us, we're not looking for awards. It's not our number one goal. It's not, you know, it's not a life goal to get awards. But when you do, and it's such a surprise, it's really nice that people just recognize the work that you're doing. Because you can sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed with fundraising. And because, for most part, we're behind the scenes, you're like, oh, does anybody know how hard this is?
Right.
But
when we got the award and they presented us with the check, Michael and I right away were thinking, okay, that $500 is going to go towards a lot of dogs.
I know. It's great. You get so excited about what you can do with money. And I think a lot of people don't realize this, but it can be anything from medical care to training. It can be boarding fees. It can be, like Pam and I just did recently, and we gave the Churchill Foundation a printer because they needed one so badly. It's so many things that you can make a difference with. So I tell you what, let's go way back in time, yeah? When did you start helping animals by fundraising? How far back are we going?
Basically, Michael came up with this idea, and he said, you know what, Melissa? Instead of seeing animals on videos, he said, or on pictures with behind their kennels, why don't we try to go ahead and make videos that really can show their personality and the way their mannerisms are. He said, I think if people see in the light the way they are, it would give a whole new perspective.
And you were way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game.
Yeah, so Michael and I, we had walked into the Nevada SPCA. It was about 5 years ago, and said, hey, we want to come in and do videos. So we started doing Tuesday videos, and then we started to build an audience.
Yeah.
So people were waiting for Tuesday videos. They couldn't wait. And then every share of the video created another opportunity. Yeah. And as the years went by, the audience got bigger, the shares became more and more, and that's how it all started.
Well, we're now in a time where video is normal. Facebook Live is normal. But when you guys were doing it, I'd not seen anybody do it. And I thought, this is incredible. One, I think it's an incredible commitment to go down, because both of you are very busy. To, a big commitment to go down every week, same day. But that's a big part of your success is Tuesday's coming. Those videos are going to pop up. And to commit to that every single week is wonderful. And you're right, the videos they show you their whole being, and not just, and sometimes the photos are not good. We've seen that in certain shelters or certain rescues that can't afford for a photographer, or if they haven't connected with one that will help them out for free. We know that, a bad photo is not going to help. But we know a video, it just adds another element to it where you can, like you say, see their personality, you see how they interact with you. I mean, usually it's like the dogs are just kissing you.
Yeah. And the thing is, like when it's summertime and the pool's out, it's nice to see a dog that loves the water and that splashes around. And basically it turns each and every pup into a video superstar.
It does. It really, really does. And then, like you say, people were starting to share, and then it started to grow, and then there was an expectation it's going to be there every Tuesday. And I said that's being consistent is such a big part of success. It's like anyone that writes a blog. Even if they only write once a week, if it's Monday, people wait for the Monday blog to come out. It's Monday, so that's going to come out. So I think you were way, way, way ahead of yourselves, and I'm so glad you were, because you got to build this great audience. Now, did you just do this off your personal pages, or did you call it Pawtastic Friends back then, or is that something fairly new?
We actually, Michael would share all the videos on our page and tag friends, and then people started to share. So it wasn't on the Pawtastic Friends because that was still in the infancy stage and wasn't yet established.
Right. How many people do you have on your page right now? Do you know?
I want to say, I think it's about maybe 700.
Right. So we need to
700 and some. That's from the Pawtastic Friends page,
right?
And then, of course, on our personal pages.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: you and Michael are very popular in town, very popular, and so people like to support you. And I think that's really wonderful that people believe in what you're doing, because you are making some big changes. So now you've got this. So you started 5 years ago, like a private citizen. We're going to do this. We've got a passion for animals. We think this is going to make a big difference. It clearly did. And it was a new way. It's a new way of sharing. And I'm actually surprised that more rescues, when they have their adoption events like today on a Saturday morning, that they're not Facebook Living it or periscoping, or or now on Instagram you can do live on Instagram as well, because you get to they say show them real life what these pups are about, and I think there'd be a little bit more engagement. But sometimes it's a bit of a I don't want to be on camera thing, and it's
right. And actually, we went to a couple other shelters to inquire, and they turned us away. They weren't interested in the videos.
I'm not going to mention them, but I know who the shelter is, because I had a similar situation when I wanted to provide. I asked them if I could take one of their examination rooms, not to stop it from being an examination room, but actually I could dual purpose. I was going to decorate it out beautifully. I had photographers lined up who were not going to charge a penny to come down every week and photograph the animals. And yes, I was turned down also. I'll tell you it was. I'll tell everybody it was. It's our local shelter. Our big. It's a big shelter too. So isn't that disappointing, Melissa? It's so disappointing.
Oh, so disappointing. Because here we are. We're just two people that have one day off together on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we wanted to go and try to make a difference and try to do our part. And to get shut down like that, it was a little disappointing.
Yeah, culture is a very important thing when it comes to rescues and shelters. The culture has to be right within the organization. And if they don't have this vision of we do everything we can to get them adopted, then they need to re-examine the culture. They really need to re-examine that. Because like I said, a lot of the time, it's not about money. Because, when I'm providing free photographers, or like yourselves, we show up, we do it, no work, just let us in, and we can do our magic. Then, the culture has to be re-examined. It really, really does. If there's resistance to such an impactful, positive thing. So let's talk about Pawtastic Friends and what you've got going, and what your vision is for what's coming up. I'm going to assume that what you did was you saw a gap in some of the things that happen, once animals get to the shelter, and you have your enrichment program. Is that the correct name for it, Melissa?
Yeah, it's the Enrichment Scholarship Project.
Enrichment Scholarship. Whoa, I've got to get my teeth in. Hang on. Enrichment Scholarship Project. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I got it right. Okay. ESP. Insurance Scholarship, ESP. Okay, I can remember that. So tell everyone what that is, why you felt that this was important, and what kind of impact you've had since you've been doing the ESP.
So some of the animals at the shelter had the opportunity to go to enrichment training. So we wanted to find a way that would allow the community to be part of this program and help them become a part of the dog's journey to their happily ever after.
Oh, gosh,
so
I like that.
So what we did was we had an event at the salon in October, and we had 31 dogs that were able to be benefit from enrichment training.
Wow.
So we had bios. I wrote bios on all 31 dogs.
Oh, that's work.
Another awesome volunteer, Tom, and his wife, Nancy. They went ahead and incorporated them into templates with pictures, and we had a whole 2 tables set up with the enrichment training. When the guests came to support the event, they were able to go and have a certain dog touch them from maybe a previous dog that they had, or a dog that just caught their eye, and they were able to sponsor them for enrichment training.
I love it.
And Sam, this program is taking off. It beats all my expectations because it is amazing.
Well, what I find out, you said people want to be part of that journey, and that will help you along the journey, because we want you to be in a great home, and we don't want any obstacles that someone says, well, I don't want that dog because it's had no training, or it's not, it doesn't know how to use a doggy door, or whatever it is. And you're giving them the best chance possible, aren't you?
Yeah, and enrichment training is not just physical agility. It helps with emotional healing. It helps with all different aspects of enrichment. And what's great is after each dog goes and they have their session, I send out a personal email to their sponsor showing pictures of what the dog did for the day, and also a note from the dog saying, "Thank you for sponsoring me.
Oh.
This is where I'm at. This is what I'm learning."
This is why we love you and Michael, because you're tapped into a component that's overlooked a lot. Training is overlooked. Their emotional well-being is overlooked because, they do come in with issues. Not always, as some people think they're broken. I'm like, no, sometimes it's the people that dump them that are broken, But
yes.
But you've identified a component that's missing that is crucial. Now, do you ever have anyone that sponsors and then adopts? Do you have anyone that does that?
Actually, there was one dog that was listed at the event, and he was sponsored. And the next day, the lady that saw his picture went down to the shelter and adopted him.
Oh gosh, that's just isn't that the best? These are the best stories, and that's what keeps you going, isn't it, Melissa? Success stories, people that care.
Yeah, and there's so many dogs that have went to enrichment training that have benefited and have found their forever homes. And I really have to give a shout out to all the volunteers there.
Yes.
Because they are amazing. We have such an awesome group of volunteers, and we all chip in because, not only do these dogs go to enrichment training, but they need transporters to take them to and from.
That's another component. Yeah,
so we have the volunteers all pitching in to support this Enrichment Scholarship Project and sharing data of what they can give. And that makes all the difference because, it takes a village.
It really does take a village. We seem to have a little bit of an echo going on right now. Can you hear that echo as well, Melissa?
I don't hear one.
You don't hear it. I just hear it in my headphones. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. Let's see if we can rectify that because I've got more questions for you. So hang on in there, Melissa. We'll run some commercials. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome to Barking Dogs Self-Wash and Grooming, your one-stop shop for all of your pet's needs. We offer premium natural pet foods, full-service grooming, and an on-site bakery and boutique. You can choose to self-wash your dog or schedule a luxury pampering with our professional groomers. Our new Cool Cat section offers feline food, toys, bedding, and litter, while the adventurous dog department has everything you need for your outdoor activities. Cody's Healing Garden is a special place featuring flower, aromatherapy, and herbal remedies for pets. Ask us about Karma Connection, our program supporting animal rescue. Find us at barkingdogslv.com and look for us on Facebook and Twitter. We look forward to seeing you at Barking Dogs Self-Wash and Grooming.
Hello, this is Jim and Sam from Vegas Rock Dog.
We've been styling dogs and their humans since 2005. And no matter what size your dog is, we can give your best friend the bark and roll look that will make them stand out from the rest of the pack.
Vegas Rock Dog has a fantastic collection of tank tops, dresses, sweaters, jackets, collars, and ties for your dog.
And for you, the owner, there are rock and roll tanks and tees and great accessories. Wearing Vegas Rock Dog makes you look and feel like a rock star. And that's why everyone loves our gear, including Hollywood celebrities.
So grab your leash and go to vegasrockdog.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Vegas Rock Dog.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. I think... Oh, no, I still got some echo. It's making me crazy.
I have no idea where this is coming from.
I don't either. That's making me nuts.
I'm absolutely...
Oh, do we have reverb on, maybe?
No.
Oh, we do?
No, that's an echo. And
Are we trying to sound sexy? Is that what's going on?
This is ridiculous because I am not able to solve this. I don't have a source for this.
Well, hopefully it's not too distracting to everyone. Don't you just love technology? Well, do we still have Melissa there, Jim?
She should.
I'm here.
Oh, yay! Well, I'm going to make myself crazy by maybe I should just take my headphones off. Partially. So, Melissa, what we did was we were talking just before the break about the enrichment program and it being a missing component. Yeah, you fixed it, Jim. Being a missing component to
I don't know how
moving dogs from the shelter to the home, to the forever home. And so, who do you work with? What components? Obviously, training is one. So, who do the dogs go to for training?
They go to Smarty Paws, which is conveniently located close to the Nevada SPCA.
Oh, so that makes it a little bit more convenient, doesn't it, for anyone that's transporting the dogs to get over for training? I've been into Smarty Paws. It's quite a big place, isn't it?
Yes, it's awesome. And there's so many, like I said, different exercises, different obstacles in there that they can do that they benefit from mentally and physically.
That's two things that are important, isn't it? The physical and the mental aspect of it. I've seen the pictures of your dogs on the walls when I went into Smarty Paws. So it's like an alumni, isn't it now?
Yes, it is. Yeah, those are all dogs that are waiting for their forever homes, and those were the bios that were written, and that's how they were displayed at the event in frames. So that way people could sponsor them.
And that event I know you did was a big event. We didn't get a chance to come, but you had live music. You had, didn't you have auctions as well?
Yes, we had food, we had vendors, we had entertainment throughout the day, an awesome silent auction, raffles, and the salon did all discounted services with 100% donated to the Nevada SPCA.
That's amazing. Tell everyone the name of your salon.
The name of the salon is En Vogue Salon, and it's right over by Flamingo and Fort Apache.
Yeah, so we always like to support businesses that help animals, and so yours is definitely one of them. Now, I know, because we all do events too, you go from, oh, I'm so excited, this is a great idea, to, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. Why did I think of this? Oh my gosh, I want to kill myself. It's so much work. And then you raise your money and you go, let's do it all over again.
Yeah, because the thing is that our first event that we did here, we raised $5,700, and this event we well exceeded over $16,000.
That's amazing, and I know you and Mike, same thing. When you got the award and you got the check, we can do this, and this, and this. And it's lovely to have the support of the community, because then they believe in what you're doing. They know it's important. And the success of this is going to be massive. This is going to be, you're going to have to not work at the salon anymore.
I don't know. They might tackle me if I walked out the door.
I have a feeling that you are the glue that holds everything together over there. And you're very well liked. You are very well liked. I have to say, when I shared that you were coming on the show, so many people were excited. So I want to say hello to all your fans that are listening in. They were really, really excited, and they were sharing, oh, this is amazing. Good things to come. We know better things are coming. And it's lovely to have all that excitement behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's exciting. It's overwhelming. You know, it's a great feeling. And to be honest, like my heart, and I can speak for Michael, even though he's not here, his heart, I mean, right now our hearts are really happy. And the support has been amazing, because really without support and without the people that took time to help us and like I said, transport and do any of those things, this wouldn't be possible.
I know you'd be successful if you didn't have people around you. You just wouldn't be on the scale, I think, that you're at right now and where you're going to be. It would certainly be a lot more difficult, wouldn't it, if it was just the two of you? And it's really how you started. So it is.
And the truth is, I mean, enrichment training, I mean, there's well over 22 dogs that go right now per week.
Gosh.
And the whole thing is Michael and I, we work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So if we didn't have a good support team,
that would
like
be
I said,
hard.
It wouldn't be possible.
Well, and the thing is as well, it's also helping local animal businesses too. You know, they get to provide these services, which strengthens their business. So you're helping a lot of people, not just the dogs. Now, when someone sponsors, is there a set cost? How does that work? How do they donate? How does that all happen?
So basically, it's $25 for a 4-hour session. So that would get that's $25 would send them one time a week. $100 would send them for the whole month, and they go once a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's like I said, it's such an incredible experience, and what's nice because it engages the sponsor. And I've gotten so many emails from sponsors that in return saying, thank you so much for sharing that. That really made my day.
Yeah.
I'd like to sponsor for another month. And, you know, it really engages with the sponsor and makes them part of this experience.
Well, there's a lot of feel good, isn't there? You know, when you're being kind and you know you're making a difference and you feel good and you're thanked and appreciated. And this goes for anyone, whether you donate or whether you're like, you know, Melissa and Michael who actually do this work. It's really important to go and just thank people. It goes a long, long way. I was telling you last night, Melissa, we support the Oldies But Goodies Cocker Rescue. Not here in town, the New York area, and they every year, twice a year, they send a physical newsletter, and our names are listed with everybody else that helped, and they tell you what difference they made that year, and we have a big connection with them, and of course, I'm going to continue supporting that. You know, those efforts, and newsletters are never fun to put together. That's for sure. It's a lot of work, but the thanking it brings you a loyalty. And when you feel like, oh, I've made a difference, then you will continue. So that's always wonderful to hear. You know you're on the right track when people say, I'm sticking with you, I'm going to help. And I feel that amount of money is very doable. Oh, my gosh. I think it's very doable. I mean, do you have any corporate sponsors that have come on board to help you, or is that in the pipeline?
Yeah, we don't have any corporate sponsors at this point because, like I said, we're fairly new.
Yeah.
But that's our plan, is to get some corporate sponsors behind us, because we don't want to just send a limited amount. We want to send as many dogs as we can.
Yeah.
And probably maybe later on branch out where we can help as many dogs from different areas and send them to the enrichment. We really want this to take off and go further.
I don't know of any casinos, and goodness, how many do we have here? 1 million. But surely there's one casino that kind of has animals as their cause, or need to have animals as their cause. I'm thinking some connections in the casinos would be really great. Or say, for example, a program through the employees in the casinos, where, I don't know, so was telling me the other day, I've forgotten who it was, but someone said, I tell you what it was, we were at, what was that place that we met the really lovely lady who likes animals who served us the other day? Oh, what was her name, Jim?
We were eating at BJ's Pub in Henderson.
Now, BJ's, they have, you know, the Pizookie? Is it Pizookie, that cookie dessert that's in a skillet with the ice cream on it?
Yeah.
All the sales from that go to a specific charity. And was it muscular dystrophy, I think, maybe?
It had something to do with the owner of the company's
his daughter had I think his daughter had multiple either sclerosis or something like that. So the sales of that went directly to the cause, but the employees also agree to have a small amount of money taken out of their paycheck that also goes to that charity as well. Wouldn't it be great to get a program like that through the casinos? You know, they can.
That'd be awesome.
Employees could opt in. You know, be interested in opting in and donating from your paycheck every 2 weeks. Gosh, with the amount of people that work in casinos, it could be huge. It could be absolutely
that would
huge.
Be phenomenal.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a little idea for you.
I know, my brain's already working.
I'm sure you probably know someone in one of the casinos you can connect with. With your connection, you're probably like, I know I'm calling after this radio show. I know I'm going to call. But those kind of things en masse can make a massive difference, can't they? Even if it's just $1 with, 5,000 employees. Wow. I'm getting excited for you now. I'm getting really, really excited. So currently, if people want to donate and help out right now, how can they donate to what you're doing? What's the easiest way?
What they can do is they can make a check out to Pawtastic Friends.
Yeah.
And mail that to 7903 ELK Mountain Street.
Yeah.
And that's Las Vegas, Nevada, 89113. And then we're in the process of getting our PayPal set up, and then they'll be able to donate directly through PayPal.
That'll be easy. What we'll do is we'll share that address and your links on our Facebook page, and then as soon as you get your PayPal, let us know, and we'll put the news out there, because I know people listening are going to say, "Oh, I want to give them my money," and Melissa wants to take it. So you can either mail your check, or you can you'll be able to donate through PayPal once they get that set up. Now, I do know you're working on a website, so any kind of time frame, that will be ready?
I want to say the website should probably be at least have a landing page within the next couple weeks.
Nice.
And then we're going to be building from there.
Oh, now tell everybody about your fur babies, because your fur babies are cute.
We have 2 rescues. When Michael and I got married, he had golden retrievers, and I had never had any pets.
Oh.
And Dalton, Teddy had passed away, and Dalton, he became like my sidekick.
Oh.
So when I had like some back surgeries and stuff, I went through a kind of a rough time, and he was my pal.
Oh, he was your nurse, wasn't he?
Yes. Oh, he was amazing. So when he had passed away, we decided we were going to adopt the underdog. So we adopted Bentley and Bridget, and Bentley is a blue-nosed pit bull who was abandoned in his yard in July with no food or water for 2 weeks.
Mm.
And it took us 7 months just to get him to go out in the backyard by himself because he was so scared.
Oh.
And he's still scared.
Oh.
And Bridget was in California, and a local rescue that no longer is out here had saved her. She was getting ready to be euthanized, and she was found attached to a shopping cart with human clothes, and they were rubber banded so tight to her that they've left marks in her fur. So she's very sensitive around her feet, and I think she has some nerve issues from lack of circulation.
Poor thing. Oh my gosh! But watching them last night, everyone, I was on Skype last night with Melissa and Michael, and they're on they're on top of the bed with their dogs, and I asked them, "What are you doing in your dog's bed?" Because their lives have certainly changed, and I think it takes people like you who really, really care. That will take on sometimes a situation that's not perfect. You don't know, not quite sure how long it's going to take until things kind of become somewhat normal for them. And clearly this is where your passion came from, was, wow, we can help. These animals don't need to be set in shelters. We can make those changes and get them on the best footing possible. I swear, Melissa, it's such an exciting time to have such great people do more work for animals in town. That just passion is their number one thing for animals. It's amazing. It's just like the best news ever. It's just the best.
Yeah.
We're so excited, and we'll be supporting everything.
It's nice to have like you and Pam and like everybody come together to support one another, because again, that's what makes the difference, that it's a team effort.
It is, because we're not known in Vegas for people really pulling together. But I think when you find your people, you're our people, and Pam's our people, that it's easy then to stick together and help each other out. And it does make it a little bit easier. And it helps, with like resources and connections. And like Pam and I just having done our big donation drive, which you were a part of it. we came by to pick up all those, boxes of supplies that you'd collected in that crazy rain that day. And we did have a laugh.
Yeah.
And at some point I will put the videos out because they're nuts. But we had to make fun of a crazy day and running around town. I think we put 100 miles on the vehicle, picking everything up.
Yeah, it was raining that day.
Oh, it was wicked. It was wicked. But if we didn't have this relationship with you and as much respect as we have, we probably would not have been visiting your place. So like you say, we do need to pull together. We need to help each other out because we've made a big difference. We really have collectively. So what's your next big event like the one you just did in October? Is it going to be that kind of the same time of year, or are you going to, do something different?
We'll do another salon event next year. We want to make that an annual event.
Yeah.
So we will be doing that, and then Michael and I are in the talks about doing a couple other events in between as well. So we've got some things that are brewing right now.
Well, and the nice thing about events is you do get to actually meet people. And those conversations are important. Sometimes they're only brief because we're all really busy when we do events, but I think it is important to have those where you actually do meet the people who care about the animals and get them on board as well. I only know there's going to be just incredible success through this program. And you currently had, 20 dogs, did you say, in the program?
Yeah, I believe there's about 21 or 22 dogs going now. And there's still some that are sponsored that are just waiting to get into the rotation.
Wow. Now, they're with the Nevada SPCA, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so on their website, do they actually say that they're in the enrichment program or they've completed the enrichment program? Is that included in the bios?
I think some of the bios are being rewritten to include that.
Yeah.
But I know that the adoption counselors, when people do come in, that they do let them know that they're in enrichment training. And when Michael and I do the videos, we also make it a point to say that they're going to enrichment training.
Oh, I just love it. I think, can we do like a graduation ceremony for them and they can wear a little cap and gown?
I would love that.
Wouldn't that be cute? That would be
that'd be awesome.
That would be so.
We had like one little dog, Peppy. He was a poodle. He went to enrichment training Monday, and then he ended up getting adopted that day.
Oh.
And it was like, wow, these are dogs, and it's not just the bully breeds. It's not just the shepherds. I mean, we have a couple poodles that were going. We have, I think it's a Chai Weenie Bonnie. She's going.
Oh.
So it's all different dogs. We have the Majestic brothers that I told you about yesterday.
Yes.
And those poor dogs, there was 4 of them, and they were confiscated at 6 months from a horrid situation. They were kept as material, under
evidence.
Evidence for, I believe it was 18 months.
Oh, it's a long time.
And then they got released to the Nevada SPCA. And these poor dogs had no human contact. They were afraid of touch. And again, thanks to a volunteer, Chris, who took the time and got them accustomed to touch and just where they weren't afraid. Now Shakespeare and Macbeth are going to enrichment training because now they're not afraid to go outside their kennel.
Wow. So there was a whole other step before they could even get to enrichment training.
Yeah.
Wow. And and we all know when they're young, that first 6 months is so crucial for socialization. And if they didn't get it, I feel so bad for them. But their lives are definitely going to turn around. But that's a tough situation.
2 of them already went home, Richard and Samuel. They got adopted. But again, they had to get to that point where they would allow a human to touch them. They would allow coming out of their kennel.
Oh,
so
gosh.
It's a big process.
It really is. And I was on Fox last week and, I was talking about training tips and I said they're very simple, and patience is a big thing because it doesn't happen overnight and you just have to have the patience to work with them and just love them and just frequently train them and be positive, how you interact with them to get them to that next step. So, they're difficult cases. I mean, a shelter is no place for an animal, period. It's just not, but certainly not for animals that get pulled as evidence, and they can stay there for a long time. And like you say, there's no human contact. They're not getting walked every day. They're not getting any of the socialization that they need, and you really are going to start from ground zero. And
right.
those, and then make the building blocks. But eventually they get homes, don't they? And I think that's the one thing that just sort of keeps you going is the success stories.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you just know they're going to work. So is there anyone that you want to do a particular shout out to, a thank you to, while we're on the air?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you to Michael because without him, we're peanut butter and jelly. So, we're a team.
You really are.
And thank you to all the volunteers at the NSPCA that are supporting this program. There's too many to name. All the transporters, all the sponsors, all the supporters. I mean, you guys are amazing. The best volunteers I have seen. And I'd like to say thank you to Sunny Rosen. And Sunny, she is amazing. She was by my house before that event for hours helping me. And Pam, I mean, all you guys are just amazing. And without any of you guys and your support, wouldn't be possible.
Well, we're definitely your fans. We are definitely your fans. And anything that you need from us, we are here for you, because to me, is just such an exciting program that you do, aside from all your fundraising. It's so exciting. And it's just gonna create more and more happy stories of pets getting into those forever homes. Well, before we sign off, I have one question for you. Yeah. In one word, what do your fur babies mean to you?
Oh, let me think. Can I give you 2 words?
Yeah.
Heart, soul.
Oh my gosh! Maybe that should be your next T-shirt. I think that's your next T-shirt that you put out there, heart and soul. I love it. I really love it. I'm so glad you made the time to actually come on the show this morning, Melissa. We'll share everything we possibly can that you've got going on, so that people can support your efforts from far and wide, not just in Vegas, people. That's the beauty of when you get a PayPal link, you can donate from anywhere in the world. And it's definitely a worthwhile organization to get behind. That is Pawtastic Friends. Thank you, Melissa, for coming on the show. Big kiss to Michael and your babies.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful. Thank you so much.
And I think, aren't we going to see you tonight? Are we going to see you tonight?
Yes.
Oh, exciting.
Yep, see me tonight.
So you get to sample some
double bonus today.
I know. And you also get to sample my sticky toffee pudding that I'm going to make this afternoon. But you're going to watch that Pam, because that Pam loves it. So you might have to fight her off. Maybe I'll make her own so she can sit in the corner and hide and eat hers. Because she loves the sticky toffee pudding. Well, thank you, Melissa. Have a beautiful day. I will see you later on as we pretend we're all fancy watching all our Oscar movies tonight. And it's been a great pleasure, hasn't it, Jim? It's been wonderful.
Super peachy keen. I left you guys to your devices today, so for all of my fans out there, I've been a little quiet working the technical side of this show. So I'll be back.
Okay, Jim.
Melissa, thanks again.
Thanks, Melissa. Bye.
Oh, thank you so much. Amazing. Thank you.
Bye, love.
Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Well, I told you this show would have a very lovely positive spin to it, and we certainly got there with Pawtastic Friends, with Melissa and Michael, who just started this just love of animals and how they could help in a better way, and look what it's turned into and what it's going to blow up into in the next few years. Very exciting to experience that as well. So I guess we're at the end of the show. Oh, yes.
You are correct.
We are at the end of the show.
Tis that time.
One of these days, we are going to do, I keep talking about it, and I just need to do it. I'm going to probably do a marathon show where we try and raise as much money as possible live and be on the air as many hours as we possibly can. So we'll have to see how that goes. Well, we'll plan something. Maybe we'll start small. Maybe we'll do like a 4-hour show. Jim can't stand the thought of that.
That's long. That's 4 hours. You'll have to have somebody else here.
Yeah. I think we'd have to rotate, have some guests come in and stuff. But we would do it specifically to raise money for animal rescue. And I think it could be really fun. I think it would be really fun if you did it late tonight with a few cocktails. It would be really fun, Jim. Can you imagine?
Tonight?
No. Not tonight. Tonight is sticky toffee pudding, watch Oscar movie night. That's what's going on tonight. Well, everyone, it's been an absolute pleasure having Melissa on the show this morning. That's Pawtastic Friends. Find them on Facebook, and I'll be putting their information up on my Facebook page. Well, remember, you can help an animal in need. Either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, share their information, or sponsor a dog in their enrichment program. And you can rescue your next family member. We always recommend that. Replace the word shop with adopt. Be kind to all animals. So that's how we always close it out, Jim. So any words of wisdom before we go?
I hope everybody's being very safe this winter. There's been some strange weather going around the place, and take care of your dogs and don't let them out in the nasty weather. That is the only thought I have in my head right
It's good advice, though, Jim. It's good advice. I want to thank you for listening again. Thank you to Jim. Thank you to Melissa for coming on the show. Thank you to my 3 dogs, Galaxy, Thornton, and Mr. Twix. And today, you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam. I am the queen of rock and roll dogs, and always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.